Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of this Eachine QX65 micro FPV racing drone, supplied courtesy of Banggood.com for review. So this is a 65mm FPV racer and is a bind and fly version. So there's no RTF version available or PMP version available at the moment, perhaps to come still. Comes in this small compact little box, quite strong, and this is compatible for FR Sky, Fly Sky, Spectrum DSM-2 and DSM-X. Comes in a basic version, comes in a standard version, and also an advanced version. I'll put up pictures now of what the different versions contain. And here we go, we get a small star Phillips screwdriver, 4 spare propellers. Now, very good to see. We come with the additional batteries, so it's nice to see more and more RC crafts coming with the option of multiple batteries, because in the past it's always been a problem to be able to have extra batteries when the product is first released. So this standard version comes with 3 batteries. And these are 3.8 volts, 250 mAh, 30 to 60 C lipos, and with a high voltage burst of 4.35 volts. Has a tiny little MCX connection. Get a prop removal tool, and this is to charge the battery. Plug into a USB source. It's got the MCX connection here and also the bigger MCPX connection. It's got a button on here as well. Looks like an on and off button. And here's the Q65. So 65mm. These fan guards are quite strong. Some nice clearance there. Props rigid but well protected. Very good pitch on it. And being a tri-blade, should perform very well. Now this comes with the F3 flight controller board with Betaflight 3.2.2 firmware. So this is very good, very high performance board, and also has integrated OSD on-screen display. Comes with a 5.8 GHz 48 channel 700 TVL camera. This has a field of view of 130 degrees. It's a 1/4 inch CMOS. And they say it can adjust, but perhaps I need to loosen the screws first. I'll take the top off shortly and we'll have a look inside. Comes with 0615 coreless motors, very well cooled. Just plug in, so to replace a motor, very quick and easy and always nice to see. The battery fits in here quite nicely and it's quite secure. Here's the USB port to connect to Betaflight and the MCX connection from the board to the battery. Let's take the top off and see what's under the hood. These two screws there. What's holding it at over here? On like a little pivot. It looks like this is the binding button for the receiver, which is integrated on the board. Now, do you have to take the top off to get to it? Not necessarily. It is a little bit tricky to press it down, but it can be done. Here we can see the camera mounted here and can be adjusted. Here we go, so it can go up to quite an angle. It looks so one has to open it up to be able to move it to adjust the angle. 5.8 gigahertz antenna sticking out here. And there is a button on top of the camera here to adjust bands and channels. So it can be reached quite easily through the back here. So I'm going to leave this like this for now. Then we also get this glossy piece of paper with information and instructions on. The VTX is a 25 milliwatts. Otherwise, I think I've covered most of the other details. And yes, we can switch bands and frequencies. Good to see the channel table and the bands. Very good to see binding procedure illustrated. The default arm disarm switch is auxiliary 1, channel 5. And gives you an illustration of it in Betaflight. So more information on Betaflight, the flight controller connection diagram, charging the LiPo battery. So that switches to switch between 4.2 volts and 4.35 volts, so not an on and off switch. This is a board for the advanced version. Also instructions on how to do a firmware update. And then the Betaflight OSD configuration. So very brief but very useful and pertinent information. And let's have a look at the weights. With the battery, and it weighs only 29 grams. So very light and should help its performance. So I haven't noticed a buzzer, which is unfortunate. Always nice to have a buzzer on micro drones. They're so tiny. They do drift off and you lose control, it's nice to have a buzzer to be able to find one. At this stage, I don't know what the range capability is, and there is no information on that. It has 3 speeds, so angle, air, and acro. And if it performs well, it should be very good value for the price. So let me go ahead and bind it to my radio controller. Okay, so I've set this model up on my Tyrannus QX7. So now what I need to do is just prepare to connect the battery. Now, before I connect, I've got to hold down the bind button. Okay, got the bind button down, connected up the battery. Okay, then I release. And press bind here. Okay, lights have gone off. They're going into bind mode. Okay, disconnect the battery. Exit bind mode. Reconnect the battery. We've got solid lights. Your arm and throttle, and that's it, bound and ready to go. So let's just have a look at the settings in Betaflight. Okay, so all connected up in Betaflight. First of all, we look at the ports. We got USB VCP enabled, then on UART3 serial RX enabled. Look at configuration. Standard X brushed. Got motor stop, which is all fine there. Okay, got accelerometer, barometer, but that's not serious. Craft name QX65, serial based receiver, and S-bus. So all good there. The power and battery. Minimum cell voltage 2.9, maximum 4.3. It's all okay. Fail safe, set to drop. Good. Look at the PIDs. So these are the default PIDs, and I'm going to leave them at default to see how it goes. Look at receiver. Okay. Throttle, your pitch and roll. My values aren't on 1500, so I'll probably need to do a little bit of fine tuning to get that there. Now it's got the RSSI on auxiliary 5, but I'm not sure if that should be it. I'm going to take it up to channel 8 and save. Get modes. So this is arm and disarm. Disarmed and then armed. And auxiliary 2. Add horizon. And where's air mode there? We've got air mode on auxiliary 2 here. Going to put Just get back up here. Horizon there, and then angle mode over here. Look at the OSD. We've got RSSI value enabled, main battery voltage crosshairs, timer fly mode craft name, auto for PAL NTSC, metric. So I'm happy with that. Got RSSI alarm there. Those are the post-flight statistic settings. We haven't got black box, so I'm going to disable black box. Go save. Then if we go to CLI, let's then have a look. So we're omnibus 3.2.2, dated November the 11th, 2017. Always remember, back up your CLI before you make any changes, and then after you've made the changes and saved the changes, save the CLI again. Okay, so let me just put the canopy back on. So it's good to see that the FC board does have these little rubber suspension mounts too. Okay, so this is all back on and secured. And let's have a look how the OSD is. Let's just connect up here. Okay, so it's picked it up on band D6, 5840 megahertz. Here we've got FPV, and we can see we've got the battery voltage at 4 volts, fly time, signal strength of 49. It's the QX65, and in stability mode and currently disarmed. So now let's go and see how it performs. Okay, let's see how the Eachine QX65 goes. So all powered on, got it up on my DVR. I'm going to start recording. To arm it, start the clock, and let's take off. Okay, so this is in stable mode. Let's just bring it down a bit and back here. Oopsie, really wants to go. I just want to see how it's going to perform. Get back here. Okay, so here we go. Going really nicely, going well. Okay, you see the little lights, 2 red lights at the back, the white lights at the front. It's quite fast and very agile, turns very nicely. Bring it back a bit here, and across. Okay, the wind's quite strong, but it's still managing it quite well. Holding okay here. Does battle a bit in the wind, it's very light. Okay, can't do a roll now at the moment. Oh, very turns well, quite agile. Okay, gets the wind. I really love the way it flies, very agile, fast, battles a little bit in the wind because of its light weight. So we'll have a look and see how it flies indoors. So great little tiny whoop. I really love the way it flies, very agile, fast, battles a little bit in the wind because of its light weight. So we'll have a look and see how it flies indoors. So great little tiny whoop.